It's tax day.
Taxes.
Paying your taxes is so much fun. Gonna get TurboTax. Even already bought one.
Mine are all. I mean, in January, my accountant and I were like, we're gonna move these. We're gonna delay
get a
these,
head
right?
start.
Yeah, we're no. We're gonna extend. We're doing
Oh,
extension.
we're gonna extend. Yeah. Because you gotta, like, do you? Here's the what's. It's very hard to know how little billionaires pay in taxes. Like, I believe Bezos paid 0.4% of his income, his earned income, which again, none of this applies to the capital gains that they're making hand over fist from all their investments.
But they're the innovators. They need to keep their money so they can keep innovating.
Job creators. So, but like, then when you consult your own shit and you're like, okay, so I'm gonna write off like a 4x4 square foot, like this desk area of my home because I use it to stream for my podcast that relies on Patreon, which I then have to pay tax. Like, it's just like
it's only 400 feet. That's all you can write off.
Absolutely. Just like the small little, I guess will be, and it's just a percentage of that. Anyway, all to say, it is tax season, and in case we needed this crude and cruel reminder, the organization I used to work for, shout out to War Resisters League, WRL, always puts out this pie chart every year, which is where your income tax money really goes, and it shows that currently 43% of our dollar goes to the military, and a lot of it is current military, but then you got past military. Then 45%, so more than the military, is human resources. That accounts for things like Medicare and Medicaid. And it is why the GOP is so hot to strip those programs away from people, because they see human resources versus military, and they're like, we're going to go with the human resources that help mostly poor people. So, so there's that. Now, what you get sold is this other pie chart, and here's a chart that shows that the military is only 15% of national defense. But as War Resisters League points out, it's a distortion of how our income tax dollars are spent because it includes trust funds, i.e. Social Security, and most of the past military spending is not distinguished from non-military spending. So that could go under social programs, etc. For a more accurate representation of how your federal income tax dollars really spent, see the larger graph. And so the other thing is that it's true that on this other chart, you've seen Social Security. It's like, oh, look at what a big part of it. But then if you actually lump it in with human resources, you've got education, health and human services, you've got HUD, Labor Department, health and clean energy credits, and that kind of stuff. So to say nothing of, you've got physical resources over here, 6%, general government, 6% over here. So 43% to the military, and it keeps going up. And as the Institute for Policy Studies reminded us, if we paid our taxes, we likely paid $1,087 for Pentagon contractors and $270 for K through 12 public education.
Awful.
That's it.
Look, they're gonna war economy. We're gonna need soldiers.
Exactly.
Why would you make college free? Because who would enroll?
Absolutely. We need fodder. But if we were to dream, where do we want our taxes to go, guys? Sound off. Thoughts. Think about
Education, for sure.
Ooh, this is my tax wish list. Bringing it back. You started with education.
Education, yeah. Yeah, you got to educate people. That's why I think that's where we are today. Like, people are just dumb.
It's true. It's true. No,
if you keep them dumb, then that's great.
I say give all the money. I was going on about this on the bonus bish last week. We were talking about how NPR ditched Twitter, and how NPR and PBS and, things like the National Endowment for the Arts gets like super short shrifted. So any kind of publicly funded media, which, by the way, NPR receives very little of its budget from the actual government. But Republicans love to go at it. I say give them all the money. Give them all the money. Let them do all the podcasts so they can buy my podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right?
I can speak in hushed tones. You know, I've
Mhm.
got a weird name, Francesca Fiorentini. Like, I'm already halfway there.
Yeah.
I know some of you guys are like, no, Francesca, you're way too loud for NPR. I can tone it down. I can,
I think you could. I think you can just get real close.
yeah,
Just get real
exactly.
close
Just
to the microphone.
it's very ASMR. I
Yeah.
think give all the money to the arts. The NEA is so underfunded. We need an industry, and you're a comic. We understand how underfunded like comedy is generally, venues, and how much of a grind it is.
Yep.
Imagine if there was subsidies for those venues so they wouldn't have to underpay performers as
Yeah.
they do, right? Like, imagine if it was, yeah, partly supported by like the government.
Yeah. I mean, other countries do it. They have
Yep.
huge grants. I have a friend who works in the industry and she moved to Ireland and is like, I'm staying here. I can make work and the government will help me fund it.
Bro,
It's they
I'm this
actually care
close.
about it.
I'm very
Yeah.
close, and Ireland's definitely on the list because,
Yeah.
again,
Because it's
husband
cute.
refuses to learn a different language. No, I'm like, but Irish is a different language, okay?
Yeah, it's true. I think I would go to the UK. Even though it's good, it's very I mean, the Tories, holy shit. They've got their own set of problems, but, you know,
It's
they
expensive. You'd have to live in
it
sort of
is
like a
expensive.
windswept, sheepy place, you know?
It sounds amazing.
Yes, taken. I'm there.
Yeah, I wanna live in an old church on a graveyard that's haunted,
Well, once
okay?
Scotland goes its separate way, I think that could also be a good option.
That could be a great place.
But I
When
like
they
it. We're
figure
getting
that out.
yeah, we're getting away from I want a gun buyback program, a very robust gun buyback
Ooh, that would be
program.
really good.
Yes, it is the way to give people money, give the gun nuts money because they have guns, but they need food on the table and they need to pay rent.
Yeah,
Take advantage of that, buy back the guns.
yeah,
I also want my tax dollars to go to real universal pre-K and childcare. Today, Biden signed an executive order that is very much a step in the right direction in terms of it is a massive directive for home care workers, be they child care workers, be they people who are working with the elderly, domestic workers in general.
yeah,
It gives like basically a co-signs a domestic workers bill of rights saying that domestic workers have a right to unionize, they have a right to fair wages, all that, which is great. If you look at the plan, there's not a lot of money in it, Jenny. It's not like
yeah,
it's like, and here's the money. In fact, he campaigned, of course, on like $220 billion or something like if there was money.
yeah,
And this is more like we believe that this should happen. And I'm going to direct, different departments to
yeah,
see how they can support childcare workers, to see how they can offer more childcare benefits to federal workers, government workers. That's all fine and good, but here's my thing. It's fucking tax day, y'all. If we don't tax billionaires and corporations at the rates that they deserve, at the rates that we are taxed, then we're never going to come up with the money to actually fund social programs in the ways that he wants to
yeah,
fund them.
yeah. Through talking, it's just like, man, the whole not to bring it down, but the whole thing's rotten. Everything is pretty it's like it's all bad. It's all kinda rotten. I don't think our tax dollar is gonna change anything. I think we just have to, you know, ask them to leave kindly.
You mean a national divorce?
Uh, yes. Look,
Oh,
there are a couple
the
states
billionaires.
I would definitely divorce Florida right now.
I
Let
mean,
it go float off into the ocean.
seriously. Look, I love. I'm not talking about the people. A lot of them are great, but we'll just move. We'll move you. The
Yeah.
rest of it floats off, becomes its own little tax haven. Peter Thiel is there. And they can just, have vanilla sex and whitewashed
Yeah.
American history. And they can take the name.
But be
They
cute
can
about
be the
it.
United States.
Yeah. Oh, you want them to take the United States?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, we'll just be called, I don't know. We'll be called Freedom Island. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll be Freedom Island and we'll be the United States.
Let them be Freedom Island and see how free it is.
I like the idea though that the bigger land mass is the island and that they're the United States.
Yeah. I think that's great.
Okay, let's see what people want their taxes. Andrew I'm going to read that correctly. Andrew on YouTube, taxes going to firing entire Supreme Court. I like that.
Oh, that would be awesome. Let's keep the good. Come on, let's keep the good ones. Not all of them have to go.
Yeah, Cassandra Brown Jackson
specifically who should go. 4.
Let's see I'm going to see what other Branius Balky on YouTube says they can be called the Disney states. Which one? The Disney state, or we're the Disney states? Jesse Drinks, Freedom Island, where woke goes to die. Absolutely. Woke doesn't know how to swim. They can't touch us.
Can I say that I am excited for this Disney versus Florida war that's going to start?
Here's what's so easy about this war is they should just move. They should honestly
Disney owns everything. Just get rid of him. Like, you can do it, Disney. Get Goofy on the ground level. You know what I mean? Get goofing.
Oh, the amount of money that they're gonna throw at his opponent, which I heard whispers that Gillum's trying to come back. Speaking of harm reduction, he was caught using, I believe, in a hotel, which was an untimely demise, but or political demise. I want to just shout out on Hacker on YouTube, Nation McNation Face. I like that.
That's good.
United States delicious. And Nation McNation Face.
Yeah.
That being said, guys, there are ways to avoid paying taxes if you are basically a war tax resistor. If you don't want to actually pay your taxes, there are National War Tax Resistance, new trick NWRTCC. I don't know what the CC stands for. If you're listening and you're part of them, they're my old homies. You can withhold a percentage of taxes. If you make below the taxable income line, that's always a way to be like, no, F you. You can stipulate, although this always seems sort of outlandish to me, that you can stipulate that you don't want your taxes being spent for war. You can like fill out a form that says you would like them to be spent in a certain way. I'm sure Janet Yellen is like, bye.
Yeah. Do you think they pee on it when they get it? Exactly. They just a big old shit on that and they go, that's that. There you go. There's your war tax.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's, So there are ways. It's a small amount of resistance, but it exists.
Yeah.
And again, $750, y'all. $750. That's how much Donald Trump paid. It's so disgusting. And if you haven't read the ProPublica article, I believe last year, about the amount of taxes that are avoided and evaded by billionaires, please read that. And also, if you know someone who makes like $500,000 a year or $1 million a year, millionaire, let them know they pay more in taxes than the top 1%. Yeah. They think they're rich. They're not rich.
No.
Millionaires out here think they're rich. Hell no. Millionaires don't have money and don't get away with not paying their taxes the way that billionaires do. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.